Hi, everyone. I'm happy to see you on our webinars. My name is Anton Voroniuk, and I'm Chief Executive Officer of Skills Booster Academy. Today, we will talk about how small business can build a marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is a vital part of your business strategy. And today, our speaker, Nadia Fedchenko, will talk about this vital tool, how to integrate it, how to start it from scratch, and many other details. Before Nadia will start, I'll tell a little bit about us, about our international approach. We are international educational academy in digital marketing field. We have over 15 courses on Udemy. So if you want to learn digital marketing, to do it from scratch, don't hesitate. You visit our Udemy profile, find their courses on digital marketing, social media, content marketing, and other topics. Not far away, we started our first sales on our platform, skillsbooster.net, and in September, the 20th of September, we'll start our first course, digital marketing specialist. So if you want to grow your digital marketing career, get the basic certifications, get my personal feedback, don't hesitate. Please share and find this information on skillsbooster.net. My colleagues will add links in chat and start education with us. So I want to introduce our speaker. It's Nadia Fedchenko. With Nadia, we started all activity on Udemy. Nadia created all our first courses. She's a great marketing expert. She has 12 years in marketing and digital marketing experience. Nadia will share her expertise about how to build a marketing strategy and do small business need a marketing strategy or not. Nadia, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well and very happy to greet you on this webinar. Do small businesses need a marketing strategy?
I think that we can start.
Oh, great. So let's start our short but very intense journey of marketing strategy planning. Excuse me, next slide. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nadia Fedchenko. I've been in marketing for more than 12 years. I worked in different fields: education companies, healthcare, skincare, marketing services for different businesses. Now I am the head of business education at IT company Binotel, and also I am a project manager of marketing courses at Skills Booster. I'm very proud to be part of the great team. Presently, I work on creating on marketing strategy course for you that our team will be published very soon on Udemy. It will be probably in October. So all your feedback after this webinar will be highly appreciated. I would like to hear about your problems, successes, and difficulties in preparing and implementing the marketing strategy, so I can adjust the course program according to your needs. So what we are going to talk during this webinar? First of all, I would like to notice that due to the time limit, we will touch only basic issues. It will be an overview of the strategic planning process. You will receive main instrument and basic understanding of how to start writing strategic marketing plan. At this webinar, we will talk about what marketing is and its role in business. We will study the planning process and the most common frameworks used during the planning, how the marketing plan should look like, and what are its components. We will talk about marketing audit, what is integral part of the strategy planning process, what the audit of the macro and micro environments are. We will talk about the internal audit of the company's resources, capabilities, and competencies that form company's competitive advantage. We will talk about strategy formulation. I will share with you TOWS matrix, which is more elaborate form of well-known and widely used SWOT analysis. How to set objectives and goals, and what are generic strategies and what are growth strategies. We will talk about marketing mix and how to work with this marketing instrument, how the planning should look like, and what are the key marketing metrics. It is a broad discipline, and to learn it requires a lot of time. The goal of this webinar is to make you interested into diving into this subject yourself or together with us, joining our course Strategic Marketing on Udemy, which will be due in October. Please write down all your questions in the chat after the webinar, and I will answer and I will respond to all of your questions. So let's answer the question, what is marketing? Please write down in the chat, what do you think marketing is? While you are answering, I will see the chat. Write down everything what you think marketing is. Well, not so many people are writing. So not to spend time, I will show the definition by Philippe Kotler. Philippe Kotler is the father of marketing. He said that the marketing is the art and science of choosing target markets and getting, keeping, and growing customers through creating, delivering, and communicating superior customer value. According to the American Association of Marketing, it is the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services in order to create, exchange, and satisfy individual and organizational objectives. In other words, it is the development and execution of techniques and processes that help a company to increase sales, profit, and increase customer satisfaction. The Chartered Institute of Marketing, one of the prominent marketing institutions, defines marketing as the management process which identifies, anticipates, and satisfies customer requirements efficiently and profitably. Marketing is about satisfying customer needs and wants, supplying the right product at the right time, in the right place, at the right price, with the right support service. The customer wants and needs should be at the heart of the organization. What is the strategy? I also would like to ask you your own opinion. What do you think a strategy is? So, but while you are writing, let's see what Oxford Dictionary says about the strategy. It is a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall goal. A strategy is a general plan to achieve one or more long-term goals under conditions of uncertainty and with limited resources. Strategy is a word that came to us from Greek. It was used primarily as in a military sense and meant the art of troop leader. So now, when we defined what strategy and marketing is, let's answer the questions. Do business need a marketing strategy? But what we need to understand that every business already has a strategy. This strategy may be some vague sense of the desires and goals of owners and founders, or well-prepared marketing plan on hundreds of pages. So question isn't whether a company needs a strategy, but whether the company needs to formulate a well-thought, sound, appropriate, feasible, and realizable strategy. To elaborate the strategy does not require you a lot of your time. Usually, the top management devotes approximately 2–4% of their time to formulate and prepare the strategy. Not all strategy, unfortunately, can be successful, because even if you have structured strategic planning process, formulating unsound, inappropriate strategies or to fail implement can lead to a failure. The quality of a strategy and the quality of its implementation is very important. You may tell yourself, why should we plan if we are overwhelmed of uncertainty? Indeed, uncertainty is a problem in forwarding planning. We are living in so-called VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. However, the greater the uncertainty, the more we need to prepare a good strategic plan, because we need to be ready for the unknown. Let's dive into the strategic management process. These are three broad elements: strategic analysis, strategy formulation, and strategy implementation. They all interact and influence each other. Each of the three steps of analysis, for strategy formulations and implementation, have individual elements. Strategic analysis consists of analysis of the environment, analysis of the company's culture, resources, and capabilities. Based on the outcome of the analysis, we make our strategic choice. First, we formulate our strategy, starting with generating as many as possible options. Then we need to evaluate those options and the capacity to implement them. And then we select the right strategy. Then the most important part of comes, it is a strategy implementation, on which the success of the strategy depends very much. We plan resources needed to reach the objectives. We form an organizational structures that will fit the best our goals, and we cultivate the right culture. We select and train people and define required systems. Here you can see the stages involved in marketing. The fundamental part is the mission and objectives of the company. After formulating our mission and objectives, we start to develop marketing plans. These plans then needs to be delivered and constantly reviewed to ensure that you reach your objectives. Each of these 4 steps has a number of elements that needs to be considered, such as understanding the customer journey, buying journey, value proposition, lifetime value, the most appropriate marketing mix, and many other components. In this webinar, we will not be able to cover everything due to the time constraints, but during our course, Strategic Marketing, we will study all these elements. Here you can see a popular planning framework, SOSTAC. This tool gives you a guideline of your steps of the planning process. The key stages of planning are situation analysis. We have to answer the questions, where we are now, objectives, where we want to be, strategy, how do we get there, tactics, how exactly do we get there. This is the details of the strategy. Actions, how does, who, what does, when, and how does actions. This is implementations of the plan. Control, how do we monitor performance? How do we measure our achievement to be sure that we are leading towards our goal? All these elements are linked sequentially. So they are circled. We are starting them all over again and going by the circle. On this slide, you can see the common structure of the marketing plan. We start with marketing audit, situation analysis. It consists of analysis of macroeconomic and microeconomic factors, internal audit, and SWOT analysis. Then we have a chapter of marketing strategy formulation, starting with objectives, strategy development, and marketing mix. Then we follow with a detailed marketing plan with a description of when and what we do to achieve the objectives. We follow with the budget and KPIs to control what we have achieved the objectives on the functional level. So we start with our marketing audit, external environment. Companies operate in a constantly changing and dynamic environment. A company needs to respond quickly to changing market conditions or to be conquered by competitors. You need to anticipate and respond to changes in customer wants and needs. Companies need to adopt their goal to fit the changing environment. To promptly react to the changing environment, companies must analyze their environment in different levels, identify forces that are relevant to the company and its industry, in the industry you work in, respond to threats and opportunities. So what are those levels of the company environment? It is macro environment. These are political, economic, social, technological, and legal factors. The company cannot influence on these factors. The company has to adopt and respond to them, respond to arising threats and appearing opportunities. Microenvironment factors, these are the factors with which the company closely interacts and can be influenced by. These are competition, customers, suppliers, distributors, and different public and interest groups. And the third level of the internal is in internal environments of the company. The audit of the internal environment helps to understand the company's resources and capabilities, its weaknesses and strengths, its competitive advantage. PESTEL is a very popular framework of analyzing the macro environment. It consists of political factors, these factors often combined with legal, since many political initiatives eventually become laws. You should consider factors at 3 levels: local, any factors arising from local opportunities, authorities. It can be like opportunities and threats, as negative and positive legislations, for example. National level. It can be initiative and legislation at the national governmental level. Supranational, for example, initiatives by European Union or some other international organizations. Economic forces. It is about macroeconomic conditions which affect the market and competition. This can be taxation, inflation, interest rate, unemployment, consumer confidence. All mentioned factors can impact the consumer spending power and behavior. Social and cultural factors. It is about demographic structure of markets, attitudes and opinions formed and how they are developed and evolved. Demographic changes, like, for example, aging population in developed countries, multi-ethics societies, for example, increase in health consciousnness, what stimulated offerings of low and no sugar products. Technological forces. These factors regard innovations in technology that may impact the industry and the market in a positive or negative way. This refers to technology incentives, digitalization, the level of innovation, automation, technological change, and others. Environmental or ethical factors. They become important just recently when the threat of growing pollution and increasing scarcity of raw materials arises. These factors include ecological and environmental aspects, such as environmental issues and climate change, energy consumption regulations, and environmental policies, which may affect different industries, for example, such as tourism or agriculture. Legal. These factors may be related with political, as we mentioned earlier. It can be different regulations, such as personal data protection, employment laws, consumer protection laws, copyright, health and safety laws, and many others. Companies need to understand these factors and how they can influence on them and on industry in the whole, and what value proposition the company has to offer to the consumers to be successful in the market. On this slide, you can see the simplified example of Vestel analysis. You must define all factors that may impact your business and the industry you work in. You define those factors in one column and write down how they can affect your organization or the industry in the right column. The microenvironment audit. So the microenvironment audit consists of analyzing of all stakeholders and organizations which can impact on company's ability to serve its customers. Microenvironment audit includes analysis of customers, both existing and potential customers, who they are, what are their choices, what are the criteria choices when they are choosing products or services, how they are buying, when they are buying, what benefits they are seeking when they are buying products. Competitors. You need to analyze key competitors and their objectives and strategies, strengths and weaknesses, as well as their sizes, market share, and profitability. Distributors, you need to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of different distribution chains. Suppliers, you need to identify the strengths and weaknesses of your suppliers. Also, you need to analyze stakeholders and different interest groups of the company. Potter is a guru of management, offered a framework to analyze the microenvironment of the company. It is an analysis of 5 competitive forces. Let's see all the forces separately in the next slides. The threat of new entrants. New entrants in the industry can endanger to take the part of the market share. The seriousness of the threat depends on the barriers to entry a certain industry. The higher these barriers to enter, the smaller the threat for existing players. Examples of entry barriers are the need for economies of scale, high customer loyalty for some existing brands, large capital investments into the business. You can see more barriers to the new entrants on the slide. The bargaining power of suppliers. This force analyzes how much power and control your suppliers can have over your company. For example, to raise its prices or to reduce the quality of goods or services, which can lower your profitability. The fewer suppliers on the market, the more power they have. It is better for businesses when there are many suppliers. Sources of supplier power are the high switching costs for the companies, the uniqueness of suppliers' products or services, the strengths of their distribution channels, and other. The bargaining power of buyers. This force analyzes to what extent the customer can influence the company, can press on the company. The customers have a lot of power when they are not numerous and when the customers have many alternative products to choose from. It can be easy for customers in this case to switch from one company to another company. For example, the internet gives consumer a lot of information and thus it gives a lot of power to consumers. Consumers can compare prices online. They can find information about other products and producers and find them from all over the world. Companies can take actions to reduce customer power by implementing loyalty programs, for example, or by differentiating their products and services. The threat of substitutes. It is when competitors outside your industry offer more attractive or lower cost products that satisfy the same or similar needs of wants of your customers. You should look beyond similar products by competitors to find these alternative products. You should consider any product that satisfies a similar needs of your customers. For example, we do not consider energy drinks like Red Bull to be a competitor to coffee brands such as Starbucks, for example. But since coffee and energy drinks satisfy the same needs, such needs as to get energy, to stay awake, customers may switch from one product to another. Rivalry among existing competitors. This force shows how intense the current competition is in the market. The intensity of competition is determined by the number of existing players. Rivalry is high when there are a lot of competitors that are equal in size, power, and they are operating in the slowly growing market. In this case, competitors can easily, customers can easily switch from one competitor offering to another at little cost or no cost. When competition is high, competitors actively engage in advertising and price wars. Other factors that define the intensity of competition are shown on the slide. So here you can see how to perform Porter's 5 competitive forces analysis. You should thoroughly study all forces and make a description of the force in one column, give the range of intensity of a force from low to high, meaning how dangerous it could be for your company. And in the right column, you write down measures you need to take to minimize or avoid the impact of the force. You have a second to look, while I will have a second of coffee break. Competitive analysis. To do competitive analysis, you need to understand who your competitors are. Competitors can be considered from 4 different levels, the same product. the same product category, the generic category in which your product sits, and alternatives to the category which satisfy the same or similar customer needs. These are 5 steps that you need to take to perform the competitive analysis. First step is to define the competitive arena for the generic, specific, and variant product markets. You need to identify all direct and indirect competitors. Second step, it is to identify key competitors. On the slide, you can see that Diet Coke, for example, has direct competitors of Diet Pepsi and generic Diet Colas. But Diet Coke is also in the broader category of soft drinks and other beverages. The outer layer shows the competition for the customer's pocket in the category of food and entertainment for Diet Coke. The third step is to assess key competitors, their current and future objectives, current strategies, and their resources. You need to write down the resources and capability profile of the competitors. Fourth step is to anticipate future actions by the competitors, by your key competitors. What are their future strategies? By considering the above analysis, you can identify what the competitors are likely to do in the future. Fifth step, it is to identify and evaluate potential competitors that are now not your direct competitors. Customer analysis. The core analysis that you have to make is to analyze your customer. You need to understand the buyer's decision process, what influences can be, what factors can influence on the buyer's decision, and segment customers and choose the segment of customers you are going to serve. Buying decision process. Customer behavior is one of the fundamental aspects of marketing. You need to understand what is in the buyer's head at each step of the buying process, so you can adopt and develop right marketing mix. On this slide, you can see the stages customers go through on the buying decision journey. The first stage is unawareness. It is when customer has no idea the product exists or the customer has no need. Awareness stage. The customer becomes aware of a need, that he needs something, or he has a problem that needs to be solved. Information search. The customer starts to look for the different products that can satisfy that need. Evaluating alternatives. The customers evaluates different products and prices at this stage. He evaluates different product characteristics from different producers. Purchase decision. At this stage, customer decides on what product he wants to buy and finalizes the purchase. And post-purchase stage, at this stage, the customer decides if he likes or dislikes the product or services. You need to understand how the customer goes through these stages and develop your marketing mix accordingly to help a customer to come to purchase decision. On this slide, you can see what factors can impact customer behavior and purchase decisions. The customer can be influenced by social factors such as family members, friends, colleagues, social class, culture, and others. Psychological factors such as personality and perception, situation factors like physical surroundings, time, and others. By marketing mix, customer can be impacted by marketing mix. For example, by product characteristic, packaging, for example. It can be influenced by price, discounts, by promotion, like aggressive advertising that you can see everywhere. Place, like making the product available at the arm's length distance here and now. So the most important is to get acquainted with your customer as close as possible. You need to understand your customer very well to satisfy their needs and wants better than your competitors. This technique consists of 6 questions. Who? Who is involved in buying and consuming? How? You need to understand how your customer will use your product and services. This is important regarding the total product, for example, packaging, warranties, after-sale, services. Where do they buy? You need to understand where do they buy your products and where they want to buy, what channels they want to use. Why do they buy or use it? This is about buying motivations. What problems, needs the customer wants to solve by using your product. When do they buy or use the product? What choices criteria the customers have when choosing the products? For example, is the brand important for them? Or maybe it is important low price or good service support. Customer segmentation criteria. Customer segmentation allows companies to learn about their customers. It helps you to concentrate on a particular group instead of targeting a whole market. These are a number of criteria on which you can do segmentation on demographic factors like age, geography, lifestyle, education, income, social factors like culture, subculture, family, psychographical factors. This is like motives, attitudes, values, behavioral segmentation, like a decision marketing process. As a bonus, I give you the link to a free open book on a consumer behavior, where you can study more detail about customer segmentation and customer behavior. Internal environment. To formulate a sound strategy, an internal environment should be conducted. The areas to be audited are given on this slide. You need to audit and answer the question, is the existing strategy good, realistic, feasible? Do the resources and objectives fit the external environment? Does the strategy takes into consideration the outcomes of the audits you have conducted previously? How does the organizational structure operate? Does it work to reach objectives? Do the existing systems in the company focus on efficiency? Are the products profitable? Is the organization operationally efficient? Do marketing tools work effectively? Here is another very useful model. This model calls the 5Ms model. It can be used to assess the internal resources in terms of money, people, production, supply, and time. So people or manpower. You make an audit of skills and knowledge of your workforce. Money. You make an audit of financial resources. Machines, the audit of the physical capacity within the company to execute the work that needs to be done. Materials. This is audit of physical resources required to complete production, and minutes. The audit of efficiency and effectiveness of time management within the company. So as we mentioned earlier, not only external environment analysis is important for the strategy formulation. There are very many companies which operate in the same environment, but they differ in resources and capabilities and the way they manage these resources and capabilities. The company has to understand how they differ from their competitors in terms of forming the competitive advantage and superior performance. Resources and capabilities of a company are fundamental basis of its long-term survival and competitive advantage. On this slide, you have the examples of resources and capabilities. There are several techniques to understand and diagnose, audit the company's resources and capabilities. Among them are the VIO analysis tools, the value chain and system, benchmarking, the SWOT analysis. If resources and capabilities are not understood at this level of strategy preparation, there are danger that the company may take the wrong direction. During our strategic marketing course that we will publish in October, we will learn how to work with all mentioned instruments. But during this webinar, we will consider only SWOT analysis and its derivative TOWS metrics. So SWOT analysis. The marketing environment audit is summarized in SWOT analysis in opportunities and threats. This technique summarizes all findings done in previous analysis. SWOT summarizes the key issues from the external environment and strategical capability of a company that may impact on strategy development. The components of SWOT analysis are company strengths. Here you describe everything your company is great at. What you differ from your competitors, like strong brand, expertise, unique technology, stable cash flow, different and others. Company's weaknesses. Here you write down everything where you need to improve to remain competitive. It can be a lack of capital, lack of expertise, unskilled personnel, for example, unknown brand. Opportunities are external favorable factors which can contribute to the company's success. For example, growth of the population solvency, the favorable governmental initiatives that can positively influence your business. Threats are negative external factors which may endanger a company's competitive advantage. For example, tight labor supply, rising cost for logistics and raw materials for electricity and energy, for example, rising costs. A useful tool for the strategy development is a TOWS matrix. You match your internal strengths and external opportunities to develop maxi strategies. These strategies have a biggest potential for success. Mini maxi and maxi mini strategies are developed to strengthen weaknesses by utilizing opportunities and minimize threats by utilizing strengths. Mini strategies show the company's vulnerability to threats based on its weaknesses. These are strategies that minimize these weaknesses and avoid threats. The TOWS matrix focuses attention on the areas where you need to do actions and what actions you need to take. Here is an example of TOWS matrix. During our course, we will practice all instruments and TOWS matrix as well. A short coffee break. After the audit is done, we go to objective settings. Do not forget your goals and objectives have to be in a SMART format. They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and realistic, and time-bound. The companies have a cascading system of objectives that goes top-down. We start with corporate objectives then we go to functional objectives that will help us to reach your primarily corporate goals. In this case, it is marketing objectives. The financial departments will have financial objectives. And then we go to channel objectives and campaign objectives, so KPIs. Strategy formation. And formulating strategy, we need to understand the purpose of our business, our mission. The mission distinguishes our company from other competitors and defines the boundaries of our operation. To prosper, you need to have a good business model that allows the company to constantly and sustainably generate efficient profit and generate enough revenue to pay bills. This slide shows a set of strategy approaches, strategic focus. There are two broad options: increasing sales or increasing productivity. Increasing sales can be achieved through expanding the market or increasing market share. Improving productivity can be achieved through increasing margins or reducing costs. This gives four broad approaches, but there are a number of options within these approaches. Strategy development requires choosing the most appropriate strategy variant or combination of strategic options. So you're not limited to only one strategy. This strategy metric, growth matrix by Anson, shows that there are two approaches by developing strategy regarding markets and products. Within these two directions, companies have the additional options for existing product, existing market, and new product, new market. We have 4 strategic options, each with different level of risk. The lowest risk strategy is market penetration, when the business sells its existing product into existing markets. You already know your customers, you have already established distribution chains, you found reliable suppliers. The strategy is good when markets are still growing or when the company is ready to use some other marketing mix, for example, price discounts, intense promotion, or aggressive advertising. You penetrate the market by taking part of the market share from your competitors. The next strategic option is market development, which means finding new markets for existing products. By markets, we imply both new geographical markets and new customer segments. Good example are leading footwear firms like Nike or Adidas, Reebok, when they are entering other international markets. Or, for example, Philadelphia salt cheese that used to be advertised as a spread, but later on it was advertised as a cooking ingredient. The same product, but a new usage, thus new market. The third strategy option is product development, and it means developing new products for existing markets or customer segments. This could be the same example of Philadelphia salt cheese, but in this case, the development of new different flavors. The most risky strategy is diversification, developing new products for new markets. Diversification can be related and unrelated. Depending on the company's resources and capabilities, you may choose only one strategy option or roll 4. On this slide, you can see 2 examples of Coca-Cola and Apple. If you want to read a detailed analysis of Coca-Cola, you can follow the link and read additional materials given to you as a bonus. Let's see example of Apple that shows all strategic options. Market penetration. Apple is increasing sale of iPhone every year by combination of pricing strategy, product innovation, and community leveraging. Market developing. Apple entered successfully Chinese market in 2010. They continue to expand to India, Africa, and other regions. Product development. Apple has immense spendings in R&D. Every year, Apple launches new model in every product line. New iPhones, new MacBooks, new AirPods, new iPads, and others. Diversification. Throughout the history of the company, Apple had a wide range of different products, ranging from drivers, printers, modems, displays. But in 2001, they launched iPod. Then in 2007, they launched iPhone. Then iPad in 2010, Apple Watch in 2015, and HomePod in 2018. Who knows where their diversification path will lead the company in the future? How to turn theory into practice with the answer of matrix you can see on this slide. You need to generate as many actions within each strategy option as possible. Then make evaluation if they can be realized. Then you have to put priority on the strategies selected for the realization. One more framework from the guru of management, Michael Porter, who offered a different approach to strategic options that will provide possibilities for companies to get competitive advantage over their competitors. These strategies are cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. Also, a company has to decide on the market scope. whether to target a broad market or narrow market range of customers. Cost leadership. Here, the focus of the strategic activity is to maintain a low-cost structure. Examples are Ryanair or other low-cost airlines, Audi, Walmart, and other companies. Differentiation. Here, the product shall be distinct and differentiated from the competitors. The product needs to offer unique value to the customers. Examples are Apple, Harley-Davidson, Lego, Starbucks. Cost focus. This strategy approach is similar to cost leadership, but the difference is in the size of target market. Examples are such companies as Claire's and the Home Depot. Differentiation focus. Here, the company seeks to differentiate itself, but in one or small number of target markets. Examples are Burberry, Prada, Ferrari, Bang & Olufsen, Rolex. The next step is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Segmentation is a process of dividing a group of buyers into small segments, which have similar patterns of buyers' characteristics with similar needs. Each segment can have different characteristics, needs, and wants compared to other segments. At this stage, a company may create personas to illustrate the type of customers in each segment. Targeting is the process when a company decides on which of these segments the company has the skills and capabilities to serve. A positioning is the process to position the product or service in the minds of the customers, distinguishing from the products of competitors. This implies developing a suitable value proposition. The most common technique is marketing mix, the 4 P's for products and 7 P's for services. They are products. It is our offering to the customer, the value proposition. It's about products and services and their characteristics, packaging, price. This is about pricing products, different discounts, payment methods, place, where you sell your product or where you provide your services, distribution channels, including digital channels. Promotion, it's about advertising, selling, promotions, public relations, personal selling, merchandising, sponsorship, digital advertising. People, this is about the people in your company. This is about employment selection, training, motivation of the personnel, physical evidence, store layout, decor, ease of access, menus and dishes in the restaurants, everything about the physical impressions that the customer can get. Process management, how customers are managed and served. During our strategic marketing course, we will deeply study marketing needs, the anatomy of a product, the product development process, branding, product life cycle, price strategies, distribution channels, channels for customer and industrial products, digital channel strategies. We will study communication mix that includes direct marketing, advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relations. So please stay tuned with us and join us for our strategic marketing course. Here's an example on how the theory is turned into the practice and how to work with marketing mix technique. Unfortunately, due to our time constraint, we cannot work with this in detail. After you decide on product, price, promotion, and place strategies and define necessary actions, you do your planning, timing, and budgeting. Gantt chart is a useful tool to plan your actions. As we mentioned earlier, the control is very important. We have to constantly check whether our performance leads us to our overall goal, whether we need to make, or maybe we need to make amendments to our plan. All key metrics can be systematized in the following scheme. The different blocks comprises of different metrics. For example, the block of share of heart, minds, and markets. You can find such metrics as customer perception, market share, and others. Customer profitability metrics such as the value of individual customers. Advertising and sponsorship metrics such as reach, impressions, online, email, and mobile metrics. Email campaign metrics, digital advertising metrics, promotion, metrics of temporarily priced promotions, coupons, rebates, trade allowances, sales force management metrics, channel management metrics, pricing strategy metrics. But what you need to remember is that despite a great amount of different metrics, measuring should not be done in the sake of measuring. You need to understand what and why do you measure, and what results you want to get. Well, our webinar is coming to an end. You received a general overview on the strategic marketing planning process. Please join us during our course in October. But meanwhile, if you're interested to dive into the subject, I prepared for you the list of books to read. All participants of this webinar will receive a bonus from us, a discount of 40% for our practical course, Digital Marketing Specialist. During live webinars and pre-recorded lessons, you will learn digital marketing strategy, social media marketing, content marketing, search engine optimization, Google Ads, Google Analytics, email marketing, and many other disciplines of digital marketing. It is a hands-on practical course that will prepare you as a digital marketing specialist. This is a profession that is in high demand. Also, you will be able to receive a consultancy from our expert Anton Voroniuk and from other experts instructors. Everyone who was registered for this webinar and left emails will get this presentation. If you still haven't done it, please follow the link and please follow the link given in the chat or scan QR code and register and receive this presentation. If you have any questions, please contact me on LinkedIn, or if you're interested to receive more information about marketing, please join our social media pages, subscribe to our WhatsApp and Telegram channel, and you will receive a lot of new information about marketing. And Q&A session. Some of you left questions when registered for this webinar, and I'm very glad to answer those questions. If you leave questions in the chat, I will answer later if the time allows. If not, we will answer all of them on our social media, so none of the questions will be left unanswered. So what is the importance of marketing for small and mid-sized business? To survive the intense competition, you need to forge your competitive advantage, know the needs of your customers to prepare the right offering, build a sharp promotion strategy. A sound marketing plan will help you to do it, even if you're a small and middle-sized firm. How to find strategies for growth? Well, in this webinar, we had overview how to do it. During the strategic marketing course, we will practice formulating strategy together, but you can start practicing it yourself. Meanwhile, how to start a marketing strategy for new small business. Well, when you plan a new business, you need to follow the same steps. For example, you plan your business and education. By doing external analysis, you notice an opportunity like growing trend of online learning. So you decide to launch online school. When you do competitive analysis, you may notice that there are a lot of different online schools, but none online design schools. So, but you are a great designer. For example, you received, you was in the past a designer, and you have certificates and awards. And after analyzing your resources and capabilities, such as you have a good camera, you know how to edit video lessons, you have the skills in design. So you're very good to launch a design online school, but you lack the knowledge and promotion. So you need a partner who has the skills, or you need to have financial resources to hire someone who will perform these skills. And this, of course, it's very primitive example, but marketing audit will give you ideas on where to go and what strategies to formulate. What is the most effective tool to start marketing? Well, you always start with auditing of the external and internal environment. Then you follow with the strategy formulation and action planning and control of performance. What is the roadmap to learn marketing? Well, we have a lot of practical courses which you are welcome to join. It is a digital marketing strategy, social media, search engine optimization, content marketing, Google Ads, and many other courses. Or you can start read books that I offered in this, I proposed in this webinar. But you should also remember theory should be followed by practice. Marketing is a practical discipline. How will this help a management student? Well, marketing is one of the main disciplines for management students. If you are a student of management faculty, you probably have marketing on your syllabus. But if you study marketing with us, you will get a practical approach. After the course, after our course, you will receive practical knowledge on how to implement theory in practice, how to select product line for starting a small business. Well, in the beginning of the webinar, I mentioned that marketing is about satisfying customer needs. You need to know who your customers are and what they expect, what they need, what their choice criteria. When launching a new business, you are restricted with resources on customer research. So you can ask your friends and relatives if they represent your target audience. If they don't represent your target audience, their answers will be not relevant for you. You can ask them what they need, what their needs. You can also see what competitors are selling. You can ask someone who already in this business. Also, you can visit their shops, and this can be a starting point for your research. Please recommend the best marketing strategy for a freelance translator. Well, I am personally a professional translator interpreter in the past. Then 13 years ago, I became a marketer. So I do not know your skills and competences. So I will tell you what strategy I would choose if I would be doing it for myself. After analyzing my skills and competences, I have a diploma in translation, business management, and marketing. I would choose a differentiation focus. My value proposition would be a tailored translations on the thematics of management and marketing for niche markets, such companies as consulting firms, marketing firms, publishing houses that needs translations in these topics like marketing and management. The narrow specialization would give me a competitive advantage over other translators who do not have such skills. From the strategy of differentiation focus, I will define the rest of marketing mix, such as price and promotion. So maybe you, after scanning the external factors, as an outcome, you may notice a growing IT sector, and you may choose the differentiation focus also, but of doing translations on the very difficult field as technical translations for IT companies. But you will need to have this necessary skills or to acquire this skill. What are the best practices for digital marketer? Well, we invite you to join the marketing digital marketing course, and after you study this course, you will find the best practice for your business in particular your business, because there is a one recipe for all businesses. Is there any digital marketing forum or platform you can recommend to join? Of course, please stay tuned with us. We organize a lot of online conferences and webinars, and you will get a lot of interesting information. Our speakers are experts in different fields, and they are they represent international companies. Is there a free certificate of attendance? Yes, everyone who is registered for this webinar will receive the certificate of attendance. How to collect data for informed marketing decisions. It is more difficult to get information for small businesses than for big corporations, as marketing intelligence can be very costly. What you can do with no cost, you can search for free resources on the internet, analytical articles, visit forums and conferences, and ask experts about trends, about marketing trends. You can ask your customers directly. You can send them questions with a Google form. You can read feedback about your products. You can read feedback about the products or services of your competitors. Actually, you can get a lot of insights. You can visit competitors' shops and stores and do mystery shoppings. But how to perform a competitive analysis online? You can join our course, Digital Marketing Strategy, where you will receive a lot of tools, analytical intelligence tools, such as SimilarWeb, SEMrush, Ahrefs, SalesStat, and others. So our webinar is over. If you have any more additional questions, I'm happy to answer.
Nadia, thank you for this great webinar and for answering the questions. We have in chat just few mentioning. Albak Sambaza told that followed you on LinkedIn. We have thank you for webinar. Maybe that's all. Thank you for answering the question, because my neighbors decided to do some reparations, and it's like two other guys who are on the webinar, they making some noise. Nadia, we were happy to have you on this webinar. Thank you for great insights for understanding of strategy, how to build it, great examples, answering the question. I hope our students will really love, and we are waiting for the strategy course on Udemy.
Okay, thank you very much, all the listeners. I wish you all the best, and I hope the knowledge that I give you will be helpful for you in your career or study, and I hope to see you in our courses. Wish you good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.